because a lot of people, even in this pandemic, have raised money, most amount of money. We became so rich within this past year. It's not even funny. You guys can look on your timelines how many people got stacks and stacks of money. But I'm saying this to the people coming out of college. Don't feel bad about don't feel the negativity or that uh, of any of this, because one, a lot of the school systems and these countries, I feel like, have been teaching people from schools how to hate us or how to hate ourselves. I don't know, but I feel this. I feel that in the countries, there's a division. And then in the schools, for some reason, when we're learning these stories, which is necessary to know your history, but then we use it as an excuse. It shouldn't be an excuse. You are the ones that are creating history now. Create your history. Don't let the past be your history, because that's not your history. You are the ones that are supposed to create history. So we could talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma. We could talk about all the times in the past, which are one or two times. And so Shaka is right where it's now. So please stop speaking about the past unless you're trying to educate. Let's do that, but then let's move forward, because you are the guys now. So moving forward, not yesterday, but tomorrow. So when we get together in these rooms and we're speaking about how can we combine learn the Constitution and teach it to the children coming up. You know, teach us about systemic racism. Don't ask us, teach us, show us if you want to. And you're around so many celebrities, and of course, many of them come to the U.S. Talk to them about building and helping infrastructure here. You know, don't bash. So that's it.
Come on, sis.
Okay.
Can I piggyback on that? We have an order, brother. I keep telling you that. You go ahead now.
Yeah, I want to be brief. So I'm American, born and raised Atlanta, Georgia. I live in London, United Kingdom at the moment. I've been here for a few years, the countries as well. So the thing that I want to say, oh, excuse me 1 second. I have to just put my daughter out the room for a second. The thing that I want to, just briefly, is that when I come in these rooms, after being overseas and living and doing what I do, and I work in entertainment as well. When I come in these rooms, what I often see is people with a lot of emotion, rightfully so. That we all do as Black people around the world. But what I don't ever hear or see is when someone says something wonderful, like Shaka, or a lot of great things the women are here. You guys have said a lot of cool things. No one then piggybacks on the positive thing. And then what we tend to do is we turn around and say, like the sister just said, she's very correct. We do need to move forward. But in moving forward, sometimes the reason that we bring up the past is to educate as we move along, because everyone's not going to sit down and study each other. The reason this room is even possible is because we haven't sat down and studied each other. We haven't taken the time to sit down and figure out what really goes on with the other ones. All of us, not all, but most of us know what the other Blacks go through just media only, like entertainment, TV, movies. That's all we know. So when I came to London, I didn't know there was a little beef between Nigerians and Jamaicans. I had no clue. And I do stand-up comedy. And my stuff is edgy, it's not for everybody, but a joke that I used to say is, you guys act like cops' bullets can tell the difference for a while. And they didn't know about U.S. slavery. They had no clue. They don't learn it in school. So nobody in here, maybe two people in here can name several Japanese emperors, but we don't know shit about them. So in the same strength that we might go learn about other cultures, or we might go, learn about, D-Boy, you're from Michigan, right? So you might Chicago, you might learn about Atlanta. We need to learn about some of these other cultures. And when I say we need to do something, I'm not telling you what you should do. I'm going to have an opinion and speak on it, and or let someone else's opinion about your culture be so drive you to such passion, then you need to be out there learning as well. Back and say something positive with. So somebody, and I'm just using this as an example, please let me be clear. If someone is Nigerian and they're something to you, and they're like, they ask you a question, are you from Atlanta? Well, how come you guys don't do this for yourselves? You don't need to have something negative to say. You say, well, we want to do what you did, particularly at this point. So how can you help? So if you don't have anything
Exactly.
but something combative to say back to someone, we're going to talk in circles. You can keep citing Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Angela Davis, whoever you want to say. You can keep citing them. But you know what they didn't do after a point? What they didn't do after a point is compete together, to sit in a room and argue among 700 people about nothing. So the point is that the only point I want to get across to you guys is literally after living in all these different countries for a lot of my life and talking to people and doing stand up on stage to countries, Norway to Senegal to everywhere, saying if they're not black, this is if they're not black, is why the hell we fight so much. That's the one thing they don't get. Everybody like Fresh Prince. So why the hell can we all sit and enjoy the Fresh Prince? Everybody can sit and enjoy, whatever popular Drake or whoever, but we can't sit and come together and have a civil discussion where you are calm and respectful, to where another adult doesn't have to tell you to let another adult speak, to where you can sit and listen. And even if it bothers you, that means you haven't done the right amount of research to understand what that person's saying, what that person's coming from. I have West African people out here and West Indian people out here ask me all kinds of questions, and I ask them all kinds of questions. But the group of people that I have that I'm close to, we don't argue. We have a conversation. They might ask me, well, how come you guys so crazy about shooting? And I say, okay, well, it's not you guys, right? So that's the first thing, is that you're looking at media point of view, but let's sit and talk about it. And I'll call my cousins on the phone. You can talk to some Crips and they can tell you why they do it. And I'll call some of my other cousins who are military and they can tell you why they do it, but you can take it from an individual point of view. A lot of stuff that I heard here was you guys, you all of you guys, and not my experience is with some black people and some African people that this happens. So when you say you all and everyone, that's upsetting people, because when you say you all, I don't know you, so I know I didn't do it. I hang out with Nigerians every day. I'm arguing. I'm trying to figure out who got the best jollof. Is it Ghana? Now don't answer. Don't answer. I knew somebody was going to answer.
Don't start that conversation.
But that's what I'm saying, is that I'm sitting here having these positive conversations. I'm sitting this dialogue back and forth, which is open and honest. And even if someone asks me something that upsets me, I understand that they're coming from a place of ignorance. You wouldn't get upset if you were in Japan and a Japanese person asked you that. So you definitely can't get upset if a black person asks you that, because at least you can answer that. They go, I get what you mean. So the only thing I want to impart, I might leave the room for a bit. I might come back. I got to take care of my daughter, but I just wanted to peace in here. It's a lot of fighting. It's a lot of arguing. And if we want to come together, if the point is to come together, then why the hell would you spend your time in a room, people, especially that you don't know and that you want to grow with, arguing? Why would you do that to yourself? If you're not what people are saying, why would you do it? If somebody says something to offend you, if somebody's saying something that you don't understand, you have to let them finish. And I always use this analogy on stage. I usually argue with a girlfriend or something like that. If I say to you E equals, and when I say E equals, you say, I don't like what you just said. I haven't said MC squared. So you don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand the equation. Imagine Einstein's at the board. He goes, yeah, well, E equals, and someone says, I think that's dumb. He said, yeah, MC squared. I see what you're saying. Let somebody finish what they're saying before you get upset. And even if you do get upset, understand that they're just another human being and they may not understand where you're coming from.
Amen.
Next, we're gonna go ahead with Joella. But before we go, Joella, is it a brother that I'd like to go after her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Brandon. That's D. Brandon.
D. Okay, then after D, is it a sister?
I'd like to go
after
to
D?
Yeah.
Okay,
Lanye.
I would like to go as well,
yeah,
Parrish.
I'm trying to go. All right, so listen,
Yeah,
this is
me
what we're
too.
gonna
I
do.
wanna
This is what
go
we're gonna do. Before we continue after this, so we got Joella, D, and then everybody right by that. I know I invited some people up on stage. So the people I invited up on stage, like at one point, so there's a lot of people up here now.
Yeah, I know you have pushed Lima to the audience, but I brought her back up because the only reason why she started talking, and I'm just gonna speak for her real quick. The only reason why she started speaking over you, D-Boy, was because me and her were having a conversation through DM.
Clubhouse T.
Other people people were going to speak, and I had already told her she could speak next. So that's where the misconfusion came in with Lima.
All right, I didn't know that. I don't know your speak up and say that because I got people in my DMs right now saying how bad of a moderator and stuff I am. I don't even talk when I'm up here. I'm on every day, all day. I don't talk when I'm up here. So the reason why I got up there and said what I said is because I said, when we go to the next question, we're going to let some people of the American descent of slavery, ADOS, we're going to let them answer it. That's exactly what I said, because we can't have people, we can't have, you know what I'm saying, we keep saying Africans answering a question about Black Americans, you know what I'm saying? So that's where this conversation was going. That's where confusion kept coming in at. So I ordered that. So if you feel like I'm a bad moderator and things like I'm gonna be retro, I got something to tell you. It's not gonna change.
Quick question.
I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be up here. So I'm just being real.
D-boy,
This is how it is.
I've got to go. But thank you for everybody who contributed to this, and you're not a bad moderator. This whole group here has shown that there are instances where we are able to come together and self-organize and self-govern as we have always been able to do, because the resources were stolen to be able to manipulate resources into something that we can then use everybody's time, and I hope to join one of these.
Hey, Shaka, I
Peace.
just want to say I appreciate you, brother, and appreciate the information. I've been following you on the gram for a while, and I appreciate the opportunity to hear you speak and drop some jewels and give some information. So, peace.
Can I put something to Shaka, please, before he leaves? I'm just here because I want to talk to him. Hey, Shaka, I know today's your birthday. Happy birthday! And
happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
I was hoping I could get an audience with you, because honestly, what you're doing is kind of similar to what I'm trying to do with, agriculture and all of that. I have a farm back home, and I'm hoping, I really want to connect with you. Please, how can I have some questions for you?
Shaka, if you're talking, we can't.
You can't hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, yeah, just hit me in the DMs, and technically my birthday tomorrow. I'm doing a group with Tiffany Haddish. She's just setting the group now, because I'm trying to get together. I've been spending all my money on this tech school we've been building. As much together for computers and uniforms and more furniture and stuff. So technically my Earth Day is tomorrow, but DM respond, and guys in the group, just keep it progressive, and you're all appreciated. So respect.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So now, right now, we're gonna keep going back in order. Man, at this point, it's really we off the topic of why do Africans not care about Black Americans. Been saying their piece, their remarks, or everything that they've been holding in for the past couple hours. So we're gonna keep that going. But Zeta, you just take order, because everybody don't like, you know what I'm saying? They don't like the way I'm doing it with the woman man.
But
I fuck with you, bro.
No, I'm already knowing.
You should do it, bro. If they don't like it, they can go.
Hold on.
Hey, look.
I ain't letting these DMs. I ain't letting these DMs or all the mentions on Twitter, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm crazy. Just saying how I was disrespecting women and all this kind of shit. And
hold on, boy. Let me say something. Okay, people have to right. You guys have to understand from the perspective of, and I'm talking to the whole room. You guys have to understand from the perspective of, as moderators, we have been in this room for hours. So it's like, yes, we might get to the place where we're like, yo, we've been beating that topic with a horse. It's dead. Let it be. Let's try to be progressive. Let's move somewhere else. Yes, D-Boy can be a little aggressive. See, I start to understand how people are, and I don't take anything that's being said personal. And see, that's where you guys have to get to. Stop taking what's being said personal. Yeah, he might not moderate like other people do in their room, but this is our room. So either You're gonna flow with it. We're gonna make adjustments as we go. But other than that, just be respectful, man. Like we've been in here for hours. So yeah, we don't want to keep hearing how people are oppressed and we don't want to keep doing that. So yes, we're in a space where we're trying to progress and be somewhere going forward. And I get it. Passionate, bro. I get it. But let's try to move forward.
And Von Zed, I want to remind the folks too, this is a space that, we're providing for information, to get information, to receive information, and give information. If y'all look in the hallways, they got rooms that got hundreds of people talking about some dumb shit. So we're trying to, I'm just proud of the fact that we had 1,000 people in this room, 700 people in this room, and we're all talking about something progressive. So keep that in mind. Like Ms. Von Zetta said, don't take anything personal. We want to push it forward, push the conversation forward, and push it in the right direction. So shout out.
Ping your whole listing here. Ping
shout out
everybody.
All the
Push the right,
We're going to keep
the bottom right, that little plus sign. Click on everybody icon. Ping. If you want to get this information on here, ping your whole listing here. We're gonna let everybody talk. I'm the way that these rooms go, I would bring everybody on stage, but I know that's gonna get chaotic and people don't know how to act or know how to be respectful of one another. So I mean, at one point, I feel like we're not gonna bring nobody else up right now. We're gonna let everybody get their questions out. There's been people up here. Some people probably sleep on stage. We're gonna reset the stage. We're gonna get everybody off here, and we're gonna bring people back up one by one. We're gonna keep, you know what I'm saying? We gotta keep this. If we're gonna keep this room open, we gotta keep the conversation flowing. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if you feel like I was being a jackass or being a dumbass, whatever she took, call me in my DMs, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to, like everybody else was saying, maybe I don't got the words like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a pit bull. I'm just on go when they say go ahead, go. And that's where I just feel like I had to go at that point. So I apologize if you've never heard nothing like that in your life. So we're going to go ahead and go with Joella. I think it was D. And then can I just get one more female real quick?
I'll speak.
Is it Yasia? I just seen Yasia.
I knew we for a little while.
All right, Camila. Well, all right. So
Yasia. I've been waiting for a while as well. So.
Oh wait. What's her name? Von Zetta, the one that I kicked off stage.
Lima, and then I will say this before Lima speaks. When you do get ready to speak, Lima, I know you're very passionate, but just take a moment before you start speaking because you've been holding in whatever it is you want to say. So just make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you take a moment before you say whatever it is you're going to say. And that's all I'm going to say.
Then I want to, all right, so let me say this. We're gonna let her talk real quick, and then we're gonna mess up the order and go with another woman. So we're gonna go with Joella, D, Yasia, Brandon. I had Brandon come up.
Thank you, bro.
Lanye, Camila. No, we're gonna go Lanye, Norrelation, then Camila. Then we'll figure out from there. Is that it? Everybody, ain't nobody else been waiting for 3 hours to say nothing. Because I don't want nobody get up here and be like, I've been waiting 3 hours. Fuck y'all, but this one I'm finna say. So that's all. I just make sure everybody good with that order right there. All right, that's it.
And then after that, we should just have where people come up and they go in order of the people.
That's what I was just gonna say. When we get everybody on stage, that's how we're gonna do it.
Can I say though?
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna get there. That's what I said before. Not adding nobody else on stage. Let me clarify this again. Let me reset it one more time. We're gonna let everybody on stage. If you have a question or a remark, we're gonna get everybody. And I please, because we're starting over. I'm giving everybody at least 60 seconds. Please, 60 seconds. Like, that's because we got a lot of people in here and a lot of people want to talk. 60 seconds, and after everybody on the stage talks, and after we're going to clear it out. If you say something, please go to the audience. We will bring you back up. We will bring people back up. We're going to go one by one, but let people that haven't talked talk first. That's all I ask. And that's all I ask. So we're gonna figure out the order. Everybody's gonna be able to talk, and then we're gonna reset the stage. So go ahead.
Am I next?
The one that I kicked off.
Okay. Thank you for having me back. First, I wanted to say, I think we all are just talking, like, from the people that I heard, like, people are talking from a level of privilege, being able to travel and things like that. Second, I know D-Boy, you brought up, the Black American experience, and I feel like for me, like I grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, which is probably the hood of all hoods. And I
Hey,
think that, when it comes to like in America, when it comes to Black Americans here, or black people who have ancestors who were enslaved in this country, and we start to see that like, African immigrants come to this country and they are like, working in corporate America, they are like dominating spaces in college, or and you see that like in corporate America, or you see like in college, they love to say like 20% of our students are Black. And when you disaggregate that data, for me as someone that's from Brownsville who has family and friends in the hood, I want to know like how many of those folks are Black Americans who have ancestors who were enslaved in this country. And we're seeing that like, Black Americans who have like our stories, like we're not in these spaces of affirmative action spaces. We're not in these spaces. Like I sit at so many tables with so many influential people, and when I see Black people, like very few of them, like I'm the only Black person from the hood from Brownsville. So I think for me, it's just like, not trying to be divisive, but like how do Africans who come into this country, who thrive in certain spaces, like how are you making space for Black Americans in places like Brownsville or Chicago? Like, how are you like advocating and pushing forward and saying that, like something is happening within the system that like an immigrant can come here, and immigrants can come here and just like thrive or occupy spaces, and you have Black, your brothers and sisters who are also Black in spaces and still struggling with the system. So, and I know it's 60 seconds, so I just want to say this last piece, because I think it is important. Like we've been talking, so I don't want to say high level and intellectual, but it's also important to think about like experience. So like from my experience, like growing up in Brownsville, right? People say like look at me and probably some other Black folks who have ancestors who are enslaved, and say like, if you made it, so can they. So like for me, like growing up in Brownsville, I was like, a star student. I was valedictorian and student government, do all of these things. But like at home, I had I was 16 years old. I woke up to guns and dogs and shields, federal detectives in front of my bedroom door. I was like arrested, went to jail. It was all over the news and the media. And, so like, I think like it's not easy to like make it out the hood. And I think some immigrants, Black immigrants, white people too, think like, it's so easy, but like so many things have happened in my life that I could have just fell, and I have no idea. I think somebody was praying for me. And I think that like, this conversation is just so nuanced when it comes to like our experience. And lastly, I would like to end with reminding all of us as Black people who are operating in this white Eurocentric capitalist structure of who we are as in the nature of being all African people, and we are community-minded people, African communalism. It takes a village. Like we are a people of unity. So I don't want that to like really be lost in this conversation. So I'll end with that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And like I said, if you took it to heart that I kicked you off the stage, I do apologize. I'm not saying like that in a negative way if you took it to heart, because I know we all human, we got emotions. But the only reason why I did that is because all I heard was, I said, whoa, before I even get there, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to go ahead and stop that. So I do apologize, kick out the stage. I didn't know you had a spot in line. So next we're going to go ahead and go with Joella.
Thank you. So first, and I'm going to be very succinct because I appreciate that there's so many voices on this stage, and I definitely want to hear from everyone. And I encourage everyone else to try to keep